So in episode 6 of Demon Slayer here, we see that Tanjiro ended up fighting a brand new demon who basically had two other demons of its likeness, um, and he was protecting Kazumi and this 16-year-old girl here. But there were just a few things that I found interesting about this episode, guys, that I wanted to talk to you all about. Now, in this episode, Tanjiro reintroduces us to his water wheel attack and a brand new attack called the Waterfall Basin. Now, during both of these attacks, the water wheel and the waterfall basin, which is basically the eighth form here, which he was getting ready to actually introduce us to a new form in the form of a fifth form, but he didn't get a chance to because the three demons came from under the ground to try to attack him, which caused him to switch to the eighth form. But when he did these attacks, Tanjiro basically said in both instances that the attacks were too shallow. They didn't hit any vital organs or anything like that. Nothing that was deemed to be lethal. Just more so just some damage, but not permanent. And so I have a few theories on why these two attacks didn't really work. That I wanted to real briefly talk to you all about, guys. So with Tanjiro being unsuccessful in causing some serious damage to his demon, here's a few of my theories that I wanted to bring to you all's attention. One is my first initial theory is that Tanjiro was too slow and the demon was too fast. Like basically Tanjiro um, just couldn't hit the demon at all. Just because like I said, he just wasn't fast enough because the demon did have some speed to him in this episode, and he just could not really make any true connection with his swings of his sword, including with the use of his water breath attacks. Now, my other theory, besides Tanjiro being too slow and the demon being too fast, is the fact that in the conversation that Mr. Rokodaki was talking to Tanjiro about the blood demon art, specifically the demons having their own techniques in battle. That this blood demon art is the cause for Tanjiro uh, being unsuccessful in his fight with this specific demon, which it kept calling each other the other self. Now, this demon's blood demon art, I'm gonna guess and say that this is actually the blood demon art, but at the same time, we're not too sure as to as far as the anime is concerned, because I'm only reading the manga during the episodes when the episodes get pushed out each Saturday. But I'm guessing that this is the blood demon art here. That it's inside its own little puddle of liquid that it can travel through to be able to like be able to attack its victims. And I just feel like Tanjiro couldn't really hit the demon because of its own blood demon art, and it was kind of like it basically was kind of like canceling the attack out because this demon is basically like a demon fish, and it's basically in a in a pool of water basically. So basically Tanjiro's attack is water based and this demon's blood demon art is water based. So basically water clashing with water, it cancels the attack out. But that's just, this is just another theory of mine. Now, my other theory, and I believe this might be even more of a key theory, to be honest, but my other theory is that this conversation here with Missy Rokodaki, that they're back at the house before Tanjiro leaves for the mission, where he basically talks about the Nichiren sword, and how it's not a common sword. It's one of those things where very few Demon Slayer members get these swords. But he mentions here where he says the black blades are said to be wielded by swordsmen who will never go far. Or like the manga says in chapter 10, where Missy Rokodaki says, it is said that unsuccessful swordsmen have black blades. Now, the reason why I centered my other theory around the Nichiren sword is because, this is a brand new sword for Tanjiro. While with his original Nichiren sword that Mr. Rokodaki gave to him, he had he was more used to using. He actually had time to practice and train with this sword before even going to the final selection. So that's why I'm saying, guys, like the all black Nichiren sword that he just got is brand new to him. And with the mystery surrounding the all black sword, it being an uncommon sword, and it, the user, the wielder of these swords, don't go on to basically become even greater Demon Slayer members. I just theorize, guys, that the sword itself, Tanjiro isn't used to using as much. He did have, he was able to use it. He was able to use the water breath attacks. But I kind of think, like, at the moment in time, the sword may be just weaker than the original Nichiren sword that he used in episode 4 against the that big huge demon that he fought. And I also only theorize this other thing, guys, is that since the boulder that he cut, which Sabato said was the biggest boulder he had ever seen a person cut through, that it showed the potential that Tanjiro has, in meaning that the sword that Tanjiro has, he possibly could maybe, and I've talked to a few people about this, he possibly could maybe be a demon slayer who has a great, like a really, really great amount of potential to do great things in the midst of these swords not having any true benefit. And I think that, to be honest, guys, I think that Tanjiro has the chance to maybe possibly, again, another theory of mine, maybe possibly be able to not only use a water-based attack, but also the other elemental attacks like lightning, wind, earth, and fire, stuff like that. If he's able, if this sword is so uncommon, and with Tanjiro's potential being the way that it is, I think that he possibly could be an Nichiren sword user who's able to use all elemental attacks, including a specific technique that he comes up with or randomly comes up with that is his most strongest attack. Because we all know about the whole anime main characters having the 3 moves of doom type of thing, and he's actually shown more than 3 attack techniques so far. So this is just a great start as far as this anime is concerned. So that's pretty much my theories, guys, on this. Basically, either Tanjiro was too fast and the demon was too slow. Tanjiro's water breath attacks collided with the demon's, again, possible blood demon art, water-based abilities, where, like I said, water is clashing against water and it cancels it out. It cancels Tanjiro's attacks out altogether. Or the fact that, like I said, the Nichiren sword, the Nichiren sword here that he's using, he's just not used to using it yet, and it's just a weak sword for right now. I'm just throwing out my theories for now, guys. But with everything that I've said in this video, what do you all think of it? Do you have any theories? Let's have a conversation in the comment section in this video if you feel up to it, and I will talk to you on the next Demon Slayer video. Peace, guys.